Hello, I'm Adam and welcome to the garden, but not my garden. Today I have been fortunate enough to come to the Growing the Future's garden at the National Botanic Garden of Wales. And in this video today, I'm going to take you on a little tour to see what's growing in this garden. The Growing the Future's garden has been designed to try and replicate some of our gardens at home. And there's so many different corners in the garden that we can try and experiment and learn from in this garden here. So behind me, you can see the herb bed. And at the moment, it looks absolutely beautiful because they're in their flowers. The herbs have gone to seed. But another important strand of Growing the Future is protecting pollinators. And you won't get much better nectar-full plants than these herb plants situated in this garden. I'm at the top of the garden where they've designated an area for vegetable growing, which incorporates flowers and all kinds of veg, from the more common types of veg like red cabbages, white cabbages to beetroot, but also some exotic veg as well, or exotic to what we're used to perhaps, like Jerusalem artichokes. It just shows that you don't need a large space in your garden to be able to produce your own food. You could produce enough food in a small bed like this to enjoy as a family. I'm currently in the greenhouse and it's a wonderful space with a lot of interesting things happening. In front of me here we have the carnivorous plants that use insects to sort their food, and they're actually shaped and formed like flowers to help capture the insects. There's also a big drip pack watering system in here which has certainly inspired me to consider how I am going to water my plants in my greenhouse in the future. Just full of ideas just to inspire us to take home and try them out as well. I absolutely love this part of the garden. It's creating height in this archway where they're trailing white grapes along them as well. And it goes from one end of the garden to the other. And I think it just creates a bit of interest. But also, if you at home have young children, for example, and you'd like to create a den in the garden, why not create an archway or a growing frame like this to grow some grapes or some vines along them, but also maintain interest and excitement within the garden. An exciting and important part of the Growing the Future project is protecting pollinators. You can come to the garden, explore the bee garden and pollinator trail to discover inspirational ways that you can use to help pollinators. And did you know that the National Botanic Garden of Wales is leading the way with research internationally that will help us better understand and protect honeybees and other wild pollinating insects? Another obvious feature of the Growing the Future's garden is that it is full of information. It's an educational garden. Every corner you look, there's a plaque with information telling you about some of the different gardening methods and techniques, but also as well describing some of the processes in terms of from making compost to growing vegetables to planting flowers and looking after pollinators. There's so much to learn from visiting this garden. It's a fantastic educational resource. There's a fantastic team of people behind Growing the Future, and here's Ben to tell us more about his work within the project.
Hi there, my name is Ben. I'm the adult horticultural trainer with Growing the Future. Growing the Future is a government-led project on promoting horticulture for physical and mental well-being here in Wales. We also promote horticulture in the sense of going peat and pesticide free and promoting plants for pollinators, including Welsh natives and other native plants that you may not normally think to put in your borders. I've always been attracted to gardening. My mum and my dad and my nan and granddad had really nice vegetable plots and herbaceous borders that I spent my childhood running through, stealing all the plants and strawberries. Initially I actually went to university to study something different, but halfway through I decided I missed gardening too much. Dropped out of university and got an apprenticeship here at the Botanic Garden. Once I'd finished that apprenticeship I got the job with GTF here, so all of my horticultural professional life has been at the Botanic Garden, and it's a fantastic place to work. So we're here in the GTF garden at the moment. This garden is designed to show you what you can do at home. We've got all sorts of things growing in here. We've got shady beds, sunny beds, vegetable beds. We've got a few new projects coming up later in the year. We're going to do a tea bed, and we're going to work a bit with some volunteers of mine who are keen permaculturists, and we're going to focus on a potager bed. And it's just to show you what you can do at home and to not be afraid really of working in your garden. If you want to learn more, feel free to pop into the garden and follow us on Facebook. We've also got a Twitter page. And if you do see us around the garden, don't hesitate to ask questions. We're more than willing to help.
So that was a quick tour of the Growing the Futures garden, a wonderful garden full of inspiration. And remember, during August, the National Botanic Gardens is open, and you won't get a much better place than this in the outdoors to come and visit with the family and friends. Tan y tro nesa, hwyl am y tro.